Hi everyone, I'm Professor Dinkles. And I'm here to issue another trigger warning. While many people hate Bolstrek's guts, Professor Dinkles doesn't think that grumpy old bastard has ever gotten as much hate online as he did for that Rosa review last year. It was quite funny. I guess we'll call this Everybody Hates Bolstrek the sequel. Professor Dinkles has a message for the perpetually triggered virgin snowflakes that are about to express their love for old misery guts in the comment section. This is what is called an opinion, and opinions haven't been outlawed yet, but it will happen soon. Professor Dinkles is looking at you, United Kingdom. Professor Dinkles also knows that many of you became male feminists and SJWs to get girls. But Professor Dinkles has some bad news for you. Girls see you for the sniveling little cowards and sexual predators in waiting you are. If you can't take Bolstrek's opinions, then maybe you should come out of the basement and have your mommies make you a nice glass of warm milk. Unless, of course, milk is something that harasses cows now. Professor Dinkles really can't follow everything that triggers you people these days. Now Professor Dinkles is going to turn things over to that grumpy old bastard so he can yell into a microphone for the next few minutes.
Doctor Who fandom collectively vomited earlier this year when the pile of ass that used to be our favorite TV show was nominated for a BAFTA for must-see moment from that abomination of an episode known as Rosa, or as I call it, the day Doctor Who died. And for the fucking idiots out there that can't understand context, I'm not talking about the historical event itself. I'm talking about the way it was portrayed in that episode, morons. Moreover, because YouTube are still being royal dicks, I'm not going to play any clips. I'll just quote what Team Wham and Power and Graham had to say. So last night on the red carpet, we got a short interview with the destroyers of Doctor Who and Graham, so they could wank themselves off over the insult to fandom that was Rosa. The woke interviewer starts by congratulating Whittaker on taking the role of the Doctor and running with it. Yeah, running it into a brick wall while drunk and then shitting on it. The thing is, woke people are incapable of recognizing what is and isn't quality entertainment. All they care about is how discriminatory it is to white males. Straight white males. And since the BBC is now run by these people thanks to draconian diversity and equity policies, we'll never see quality entertainment come out of that organization again. R.I.P. Real but now dead BBC, we miss you. The woke interviewer asks, how important was it for you to bring that Rosa Parks story to the screen? And with that, cue virtue signaling and more wanking. Whittaker the Hateful responds with, it was incredible. We had some phenomenal actors, including that woman that played Rosa. I'm sure it was incredible for you, Jodie. You got to hate on white dudes for a bit. I'd say that's probably your favorite pastime, because we all know it isn't improving your acting. Dr. Woke continues. The script by Mallory Blackman was beautiful. Oh, for the love of God, Whittaker. It was a race-baiting piece of shit that really didn't care about telling the Rosa Parks story at all. Blackman's sole purpose was to demonize white people, and we all saw right through it. The fact that her villain was just a space racist with no backstory and no explanation as to his motivations, other than the fact that he was just a racist, demonstrates that she's incapable of writing anything above the level of children's books. And I shiver in horror to think what kind of hateful, mind-warping crap kids are exposed to in her books. Whittaker continues, when you were shooting, you knew it was special, and the final edit was incredible, and the song at the end was perfect. Oh, it was special alright, and I just loved the way it was edited to make white people seem as evil and menacing as possible. As for the song at the end, perhaps you should have won an award for most pathetic example of virtue signaling I've ever seen. Well done, Chibs, you idiot. The woke interviewer then asks them if they watched every episode. Mandeep Gill says she watched every one with her friends. Of course you did, Gill, and I'm sure your friends were kind enough not to tell you that you were the worst and most pointless companion in Doctor Who history. Actually, what am I saying? I'm sure her friends are just a bunch of woke SJWs. They probably weren't even aware that the show actually existed before Dr. Woke came to the scene. Actually, I'm sure they've already forgotten it. Oh, Series 12, you are so screwed. Next, the virtue signaling and oppression Olympics goes into full gear when the woke interviewer says, Mandeep and Tozin, the material you had to work with was so important because of what's going on in the UK and the world right now. How much responsibility do you feel you were given as actors? Well, we are fully aware of the failing social experiment that's going on in the UK right now. There seems to have been a war declared on straight white males. I know that much, and they are destroying their country in the process. I know that the UK has somehow devolved into a leftist nightmare with a conservative government in power, no less. I send my sympathies to my UK viewers. I'm just waiting for the day that channels like mine get blocked in that country. I like Cole's response because he still seems like he just doesn't give a shit. He says, just tell the truth and tell the story, and hopefully it relates to everyone now. Well said. That hatred of white people in modern UK society really came through in that one. So I guess it achieved its goal. Then Gil pipes in, and I can't help but cringe. She says, like you said, it relates to us, and it's our truth. The material is so real to me that there wasn't much pressure because it was a real feeling. How was it real to you, Gil? To use that word that you people love so much, you seem to be somewhat privileged with your BA in acting, which I guess hasn't helped you much. Oh, look at how oppressed I am. I got a role in what was formerly one of the biggest television shows on the planet, and took a part in destroying it. You were beyond terrible, and still managed to keep your job for a second series. I guess that makes sense, as wokeness and not being a straight white male are the only requirements to appear in Doctor Who these days. There's one scene in Rosa that perfectly exemplifies people like Gil. I'm referring to the scene where she spends time moping in an alley with Ryan, complaining about how oppressed she is, and how criminals are mean to her. Oh Yaz, you're actually making equity hires look really bad, and just made it clear that you are not suited to the job. Wokeness does not include self-awareness, apparently. Walsh gets a few lines at the end, and everybody stares accusingly at the evil white dude. Poor Bradley. The woke interviewer then asks, how are you going to celebrate tonight if you win? Well, they don't have to worry about that. They lost a bodyguard. I was surprised by that because nothing else on the list seemed quite as woke as Rosa. I guess Chibs and friends will have to work harder on their hatred and wokeness next year. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is deleting subscribers, and troll me on Twitter. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching, and have a great day.